Let me introduce myself to those of you I haven't had the pleasure to meet in person. I'm Father Reginald Martin, the director of Vallombrosa Retreat, and I have been given the honor of addressing you today about the most recent happenings here at Vallombrosa. As many of you know, the current health crisis has forced us to cancel all of the events we'd planned to host for the immediate future. Since this past Lent, we've welcomed none of the groups we looked forward to joining us, and life at Vallombrosa simply hasn't been the same. We hoped things might improve as summer progressed, but this hasn't been the case, so we have quite reluctantly determined to close down our operations until Christmas. This means we've said farewell to our cooking and housekeeping staff, as well as to all those friendly faces that greeted you when you arrived at Vallombrosa. Our administrative staff members have drastically reduced their hours, and the folks responsible for Vallombrosa's maintenance and grounds will be doing far less. We hope to keep the center looking as beautiful as ever, but with the loss of income from our retreat events, I believe you can see the challenges we face as we strive to meet Vallombrosa's most basic needs with no funds to support our efforts. When I was newly ordained, this is about 50 years ago, I worked with a pastor who said, "I will never ask for money." At the time, I thought this an extremely dangerous promise. I've never changed my mind. The church's ministries have always depended on the support of her friends. Whom else can we turn to support us? Now, with respect to my former pastor, I might add that while your financial support is important, and I'll talk about that in just a moment, what is altogether essential to our survival is prayer. I beg you to keep us and our ministry, which we eagerly hope to re-embrace fully, in your prayers. Throughout the gospel, Jesus assures us that what we pray for in faith, we may look forward to receiving. And St. Paul, over and over, reminds those he writes to of his prayers. Each day when I pray the rosary, I remember you, the friends of Vallombrosa. And each of us here at Vallombrosa counts on you to do the same for us and our ministry. Now, let me take a moment to describe some of the ways your financial support can come to Vallombrosa's aid. If you wish simply to make a gift to our operating fund, we will use your generosity wherever it is most needed. Although we have ceased Vallombrosa's retreat activities, the center still faces expenses for electricity and other utilities. While we've shut down our kitchen and turned off our commercial-size refrigerator and freezer, the safety of our facility demands that we keep the lights on. One of the activities we've not been forced to abandon, in fact, it has actually grown during this health crisis, is our online spiritual education ministry. I emailed a letter yesterday to our friends describing the next few of our online offerings. Some are one-day events, others will take up an entire weekend. But each of them is designed to offer the same opportunities for spiritual growth you would find for you to come to Vallombrosa in person. We ask a donation for these events, of course, and we realize that the cost may be a challenge during these trying times. Therefore, if you can, you might wish to support this enterprise by enabling others to join you on your spiritual journey. To do so, you may make a gift that will enable us to reduce the cost of these events and make them available to more and more individuals who might otherwise not be able to afford to take part in them. A couple of years ago, PG&E offered us a no-interest loan to install low-watt lighting throughout the Vallombrosa campus. This has resulted in a dramatic reduction in our electricity bills, but we must still pay off the $70,000 loan. Your gift to this effort will do a great deal to reduce our monthly utility expenses. Vallombrosa occupies about 11 acres of land, and much of this property is the landscape that our visitors find so engaging and supportive for their prayers while they're here. The lawns and other plantings on our campus must be irrigated. So although we have turned off the hot water in our presently unoccupied guest rooms, we must still face a sizable monthly water bill. Vallombrosa Retreat Center is nearly 3/4 of a century old, but a number of the trees on our property are older than that, and they require significant attention, especially in times of drought or flooding. If you've appreciated what the landscape has to offer when you visited Vallombrosa, we'll be very grateful if you'll consider a gift to the center's Grounds and Trees initiative. Not long ago, we received a matching gift committed to reconstructing the shrine to Our Lady of Lourdes, an area dedicated to Father Kevin Gaffey, a highly regarded priest and long-time director of Vallombrosa. We need $25,000 to match our initial donor's generosity and to complete our work on the shrine. When it's finished, the shrine will offer space for private meditation, as well as for public prayer and even public masses. You can take part in this project by purchasing a bench or even a paving stone, and if you wish, having the stone engraved. And if you'd like to make a hands-on contribution to Vallombrosa, this is quite literally a hands-on contribution, we'll be happy to lend you a rake or a shovel and let you help with the essential yard work that must be continued here at Vallombrosa. If you find yourself in the neighborhood, you might like to join us for our Friday night rosary, prayed in the Garden of Corporal Works, an area dedicated to St. Teresa of Calcutta. This spot is well lighted, masks must be worn, and social distancing is observed. We've set up a web page that will give more information about these opportunities to help Vallombrosa during these troubled times. The address is www.vallombrosa.org/save. The site contains the letter I mentioned earlier, as well as more details on the giving opportunities available. I beg you to take a look at this website. Once again, the address is www.vallombrosa.org/save. And I beg you to be a part of the effort to save Vallombrosa Center. With our friends We've grown together in faith for nearly 75 years. Let us continue to work together to bring the good news of God's kingdom to a world longing to be healed.